So today's assignment is 176B. So the instructions say, A, state the domain, B, state the range, C, the x intervals where the function is increasing, decreasing, or constant, and find the values of f of 0, f of -2, and f of 2. So hopefully this is just review. When we talk about domain range increasing, decreasing, we're always talking about the x values except for the range. So if we look at number 18, what is the domain of number 18? So we look, the graph begins here, and it continues forever to that direction. So I can't really see the picture very well. How far to the left does that graph reach? So -4. And how far to the right does that graph reach? Infinity. Is -4 part of the domain? Yes, so it gets bracket. Is infinity part of the domain? No, so it gets a parenthesis. Okay. The second part asks for the range. What is the range? Which y values are part of the graph? Everything from 3 down, but when we state intervals, we always state the small number first. So the smallest value is -infinity, and the largest value is 3. Is 3 a parenthesis or a bracket? It's a bracket. Do you guys remember how to do this? Okay, so now we move on to increasing. How many parts of the graph represent increasing intervals? Just one. This little piece here is the only time the graph is going up. If you think about this as the value of a stock over time, that stock was only going up from month 1 to month 2. So the increasing interval is going to be x is equal to everything from 1 to 2. Is it going up at 1? No. So that's a parenthesis. Is it going up at 2? No. It's not going up at 2. It's actually flat at 2. It's not going up or it's not going down. It's perfectly horizontal. Okay? How many intervals is this graph decreasing? Well, this one has a slope of -1, and this one has a slope slightly greater than -1, but it's still one interval of decreasing, right? And then we have this interval here. So how would we describe that first piece? What is the left bound of that piece? -3. What is the right bound of that piece? 0. Parentheses or brackets? Those are both parentheses. And then what is the left bound of this piece? It starts at the second month, and it goes until infinity. Now, all of those increasing and decreasing intervals have parentheses. Is it possible for an increasing or decreasing interval to have a bracket? So why did all of these have parentheses? What is it about the graph? They share a point with another interval that's doing something different. What about the end point on 19? Is the graph decreasing at -7? Yes, because it doesn't share it with any other point. Okay, what about constant intervals? Is that graph ever constant? So constant x equals, there's this piece, constant from -4 until -3, left side parenthesis or bracket. Remember, constant means the graph is flat. Is it flat at -4? Yes. Is it flat at -3? This is kind of a tough question. I'm going to say yes, because the car doesn't actually dip down until, if you're driving a car on that line, if you are at -3, has the car started going down the hill yet? No. So I'm going to say bracket. I'm interested to see what the back of the book says. And then for this section, we're going to union it with from 0 to 1, and I would put brackets on those. I'm interested to see what happens. Somebody look at number 17. Look at the answer for 17. Are the constant ones brackets or parentheses? Really? Okay, and I'm not going to go into why that's the case. They're using a definition that's used in calculus that you don't need to worry about. So I'm not going to care too much about parentheses and brackets on the constant ones, because we'd have to bring in a bunch of information that we don't need to worry about. Yeah. Okay, we also need to find the values of f of 0. What is f of 0? When x equals 0, y equals -1. Okay, what is f of -2? When x equals -2, y equals 2, and f of 2 is 1. That's it. Okay. Good luck.